Welcome back, everyone. Yes, it's another episode of the Steel Target Paint Podcast. This one's coming on a very special day, but before that, I want to say thanks to Steve Foster, who, of course, is here with us. Steve, how you doing?
What's up, Jeff? How are you?
I am
Happy
wonderful.
birthday! Happy birthday, Jeff!
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. Yes, everyone, today is my birthday. It is May 19th, and I have made it to the ripe old age of 61.
Oh, I
So
I, I thought you were gonna say I'm now a distinguished senior.
no, I am not there yet, but I keep getting closer every year. Uh no, still a senior and still hopefully doing well, you know. It's a I tell you, there's some fast people in the senior division.
Oh yeah, there's some ballers out there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And now speaking of matches and shooting fast, I believe the last major you shot was Alabama, is that correct?
Yeah, man, that seems like so long ago. Yep, it was. Was that 6 weeks ago? I don't know. It was a good match and well run. And Carl, he does such a fantastic job there. It was a great match with, hey, Jeff, great food too. I mean, they had a food truck there on Saturday. Oh my gosh, it was it was good. It was good.
Well, I'm looking at that match right now. There were 298 competitors. Or guns. I
Guns,
can't
yeah.
speak for competitors, but 298 guns. That's huge. That's rivaling some of the area matches, if not in the top two or three area matches.
Yeah, I think they had initially over 300 guns registered. So I think a couple people must have dropped out.
Sure.
But yeah, it was 300. We'll round up two people to 300. That's a strong state level match, let alone any match.
Yeah, I'm looking here. It looks like Jesse Grant took top honors in rimfire rifle with a 53.96. That is some blazing time, man.
Okay. Let's talk about that for a moment because I was squatted with him when he shot that.
Yep.
He probably shot 3, maybe 4 stages relatively clean. The others, Jesse, I love you, but the other 3 to 4, there were some, fast makeups. Let's just say that. So, I mean, if he cleans up, I'm telling you right now, if he cleans up just a couple of those stages, we're talking a 49 something. And here's why. So let me go over to SASP for just a moment. Not a lot of people here shoot SASP. Some people have over the course of time. They're dual SASP, shoot rimfire challenge, maybe some steel challenge. So I remember a few years ago, I don't know if it was Nate Gibson or Ethan Encondo that did it, but broke 30 seconds in SASP, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, that's a big deal. They actually had to adjust their scoring program because they couldn't record under 30 seconds and so on and so forth. And that's probably, let's say that was 6 years ago. Could be 7, could be 8, could be 5. I don't know. It wasn't that long ago, at least in our amount of years, Jeff. It's not a long time ago.
Right.
But probably 6 to 9 months ago, Jesse shot a 24 something, which by far was the fastest time I ever shot in SASP history. Like to the point that people are like, we have to set random timers and how are we going to do this? So then Jesse shot the top 5 or 6 fastest SASP times ever shot. And I'm not sure if it was in Florida or it was within the last couple weeks.
Right.
He broke 22 seconds. No,
Wow.
broke 22 seconds. People that shoot SASP, it's like you can't even fathom that. And that's similar to this. That's the equivalent of, I think, my opinion, of shooting a 49 something steel challenge. So he's on it. He's getting close. He's getting close.
Right. For our listeners that don't understand either, the SASP is 4 stages, correct?
That's correct.
Yep. Okay. One's very similar to 5 to Go. One's very similar to Smoke and Hope, I believe.
Yep.
And they got a couple other ones in there, but just so everyone has a context, this is over 4 stages. So yes, I absolutely agree that is, you're pushing the break in the 50 mark.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's I know we're not talking about WSSC yet, but I think we kind of are now. It's going to be interesting to see how all that goes. I mean, I know we've had a couple of quick world speed shoots the last couple of years. I don't know, Jeff. This could be the fastest ever. We'll see.
We 2 years ago, I forget how many records were broken. I want to say 40, I think it was. And I thought we'd have a handful of records broken last year, and it was like 15 or 20, which is not a handful. That's a
Yeah.
lot.
Oh yeah.
And I seeing what Jesse Grant's doing, what Jesse Misko's doing. Look at Area 3. Jenna Larson just won RFRO in Area 3. 56-57.
Oh my gosh, that's lights out.
Okay. There's just amazing shooting going on to where you can't even, I don't think you can even truly figure out how many records are going to be broken. Because you never know what game they're going to bring. And everything's got to line up too. I mean, that's the other thing. You've been there. I've been at matches with you where you've been shooting great, and then the gun goes, I'm done.
It's never happened to me today,
And
anyway.
that's
Yeah.
not fun. So that was, Alabama, 298 entries. That's just phenomenal. And again, on the same footprint as the WSSC. One of these days I may be able to try and make it up there. Couldn't make it this year, but just looking down the list of people here, we're going way deep into the 40s and 50s of a who's who of shooting the game. And that
Oh
is
yeah.
that is really cool. Now, speaking of other matches that just happened, Area 4 happened out in Texas, and they had 226 shooters.
That's good.
And so they had a really solid turnout there. Congratulations to Tim Guerrero taking the top spot there, shooting a rimfire rifle, shot a 67.85. But then, like I
Nice.
said, Area 3 just happened this past weekend. They had 222 shooters. And like I said, Jenna Larson took the top spot there with a 56-57. So there are just some crazy shooting going on, and some new people coming up through the ranks. Are you there?
Yep.
Okay, good. I thought I lost you. I was scared, all alone on the podcast. What do I do?
I was waiting to hear about all these new people you were talking about. But
Well,
the
no,
other
you
part,
just so Tristan Krause is not a new shooter. He's been around
sure.
for a while, but he's still performing. And Caleb Klein, look at what he's doing in the optical sight revolver.
He's a monster.
You know,
Caleb is a monster.
did you see the post from DJ?
Oh yeah, I did. I did. Congratulations, him. Great guy too. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. Oh, I think DJ. I actually met him. He came down and shot one of my matches, and just a super guy, really friendly, hoping to help anybody get better, willing to share information. It's the kind of person you hope to meet in this game. So that's
Yeah,
really cool.
it was so funny. We were communicating about some business stuff not too long ago, and then I saw him. It was probably 6 months after I saw him, and I think his name is David, and he didn't sign his email as DJ. So I saw him like, hey, what's going on? He's like, yeah, blah blah blah. I was like, I completely spaced that was you. That was so funny. So I saw him at the Georgia match, saw him at the Alabama match, and I'm sure we'll see him at the World Speed Shoot. So
He's definitely
doing a bit of
competing in
traveling.
world speed.
Yep.
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 So since we're talking matches, let's jump the gun here, and we'll do what we normally do at the end here. Just go over some of the matches that are coming up this weekend. Area 1, Beehive Blast Steel Challenge Championships out in Salt Lake City. Then, of course, the following weekend we've got the Ruger World Speed Shooting Championships presented by Vortex Optics. That's another long name. I feel like I'm saying the Creekside match again. Um, 2 weeks after that is Area 5 up at Riley. Then we go a little bit, almost a month and a half for majors, where in end of July you've got the Tennessee State, and then beginning of August you've got Area 7, and let's see what else we got there in August. Kentucky and Kansas State. So there's a lot going on. Um, Speaking of which, for those that don't know, because I've had a number of people ask me about Area 6, it is on the books. It is on Practice Score. You can sign up, and I hope to see you there. There is a change of venue this year. It will be in Cherryville, North Carolina. So at the Foothills Public Shooting Complex. So if you're thinking about shooting Area 6, it's available for registration. Get online and get signed up, and I will be there. Steve, you hoping to make it?
I'm hoping to make it. I'm hoping to make it.
Cool. So let's talk WSSC. Last I looked, did a quick count. It's kind of tough to do the counts because they've still got some waitlisted spots listed there, and they've still got some sponsor spots listed there. Probably about, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, probably about 20. So there's 712. So we're looking at probably about 690 guns already registered for that match, which puts it up there in the top tier of number of guns at a world speed shoot, which is fantastic.
We have had 700 once, correct, or
We
twice?
had 702 or 12, something like that.
Yeah.
It was crazy big. And there's a chance, there's always people that come out of the woodwork. Unfortunately, there's also people that, have all intentions of going, and then, last minute life gets in the way. That's fully understandable. Hopefully, that doesn't happen, and everybody who is signed up is able to go, because it's an event. I know I've got a lot of people from not only Florida, but specifically the Wyoming Antelope Club, and specifically students of mine that are going this year.
Oh, that's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, yeah. In fact, I think we've got one squad, minus Randall and Steve Thornton. The rest of the squad are whack people.
Ah, yeah,
So
you guys have a really great club down there. A lot of involvement and a lot of great shooters. Spending a lot of time training down there. That's great to see a club with so much activity.
thank you. Yes, for me as a match director, uh, I get the best feeling about just having the match fill up as much as possible. I started a Saturday night steel match. It started out as 4 stages, and we'd get 21, 25 people showing up. And
Yeah.
then I said, well, I'm going to expand it to 5 stages because we have the ability to run 5, and we moved it an hour early. And so we still end up, you know, a decent time at night. And this last month we had 45 shooters.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, for a night match on a Saturday night in Florida, it couldn't be better. So very pleased about that. So talk to me about what Creekside is doing for WSSC, because I'm seeing stuff flying around Facebook, and I'm trying to understand what you got going on. So explain to the people.
Well, a couple things. There's a couple of big matches out there. The price to entry to become a sponsor is, it's not inexpensive. We'll find out after the match if it's good value or not, Jeff. And so, big matches like the World Speed Shoot, and we've already committed to support SASP Nationals, which is a huge, huge match. They've got a pretty decent buy-in to sponsor a match like that. So here, I don't know, it's probably been 6, 7 weeks or so ago. My wife, she's amazing, by the way. She
I
put out
I
on
couldn't agree more. I think your wife is amazing. She puts up with you.
Oh, I know. I know. Enough said. Next bullet point. Yeah, she so out on social media, she had this idea for the Georgia match, or we kind of talked about it, and she put it out there for the Georgia match. It was her idea to say, "Hey, let's do a custom theme gun." I said, "Honey, that sounds like more work for me." And so we went on social media and posted, a couple ideas, and then had like a write-in option for different theme guns. And so we had a special theme for the Georgia match, and we did up a tombstone gun, which a lot of people,
It
man, at the
looks
Georgia,
sweet.
yeah,
That looks sweet.
at the Alabama match, they're like, "Hey, where's tombstone gun?" No, 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 we gave that away. They're like, "I'm sorry, you did what?" I'm like, "No, we gave that gun away." And it had the new Ruger 1022 with the carbon fiber barrel in it, and the
Yep.
VX trigger, and all that kind of stuff. And we put it in the Crazy Ivan original chassis, and then we laser engraved it and Cerakoted it. So you're talking at least $1,500 to $1,700 um, type prize. And
Mm-hmm.
so we did the same thing. My wife put out there some different ideas, and one of them, um, it was time because of timing. It was around when Val Kilmer passed away, and
Yep.
so my wife said, "Hey," and that's one of my. There's two movies when I grew up that were my favorite movies. The first movie was my favorite movie because it's the one that I saw in the theater when I was a little kid. Was Karate Kid, and the one that kind of defined a generation, I believe, was Top Gun. And so I'm
Yeah.
like, I love watching Top Gun. So anyway, that was one of the options, and sure enough, it won. And so my wife did all the design stuff and the
Sure.
vector, and it's just people. I'm not sure understand how much time that stuff takes. I'll tell you. I'll tell you about another project I'm working on. I don't know if we'll do it on there or not, but yeah, I've got 3 or 4 hours of lasering and into aluminum, which is quicker than steel, let alone painting and all that design and all that stuff. Working on last night. Anyway, so we're gonna do the same thing. Give away a Ruger carbon fiber 1022 and in an aluminum Crazy Ivan original chassis. So it's ready to rock and roll. So we can't give you the gun at the World Speed Shoot. So it will be on display at the World Speed Shoot. Touching does require consent, but you can touch it and feel how deep the engraving is and stuff like that is. But it will be on the prize table, so we expect it to be one of the top prizes given away probably in the rimfire, one of the rimfire divisions, and I'm excited about that too. There's a lot of companies out there that say they want to sponsor, give back, and you know what? We're going to do it, and help give back to the sport. So
Well,
yeah,
that's
so
that's
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 what we got
great.
going on, and it's cool.
Absolutely.
It's
Well,
cool.
I saw that tombstone gun and I did touch it and I tried to steal it and I was immediately manhandled back to putting the gun back on the table. So that didn't work. Um, but the one thing I wanted to tell you too is I want everybody to start looking around because more and more of the Crazy Ivan chassis are popping up in competitors' hands. We've got two down here shooting out of the whack in the Florida area that are shooting them. One an original, one actually I think the one you might have posted on your laser job, the clever girl.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah. That was
that's
one
a
of the
that's
first ones
the
out there.
comp model, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And there's also, I think, no, maybe I won't say his name, but I'm not sure if there may be three, but that's another. The sales of the Crazy Ivan chassis have been very humbling. They've done extremely well. What's interesting about the Crazy Ivan chassis is, of course, people are going to try it from a competitor standpoint and put the comp chassis in their hands. That's what I'm shooting for my open gun. It's kind of a no brainer. It's rock solid.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great setup. But the original chassis, I've got a special project I'm working on. I don't think I'm gonna have it ready by the time World Speed Shoot comes along, but it's a great option. The way that it is today, and it'll be even a greater, a more great option
Right.
when this other project comes to fruition. But if you shoot a PCC, it feels pretty similar to my PCC. So that's been more popular than I would have thought. But boy, the average person that doesn't shoot competitively has been buying a lot of the original chassis just because of how cool it is in nature and how
Yep.
customizable it is.
Well,
It's
that's the one
it's slick.
original chassis, you said that it more mimics the feel of a PCC.
Yes.
And that is exactly why one of my students who was shooting the original chassis got it. And I believe the weight differential between the two guns is just a few ounces.
Yeah, it's not a lot. And with
Yeah.
the project I got going right now, it's gonna be a couple less.
So wait, is that the one you were going to tell us about, or were you going to tell us about something else? Because
I'll tell you about that later.
Okay, sorry, people. I tried.
There's a
It'll
chance.
be offline, and just feel good that I'll know.
Well, I will say that one of the top, if not the top, rimfire rifle open shooter in the country is going to have a really cool chassis by the time World Speed Shoot comes around.
All right.
So, I'll say that part of the other story. But
that's enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's enough of that.
Good stuff.
But yeah, Jeff, it's so what else is in store? We've got we just released our first of a couple of products that I've got envisioned for our executive series. So it's a brass set of grips for the 1911. Of course, they look nice on a Ruger 2245 lower, whether you got a a Volquartsen or something like that. And I posted a set the other day. Those have been really popular out of gate. We're gonna have grips, magwells, base pads. And
yeah, I meant to ask you. I'm glad you brought that up. So these are your brass grips, but they'll fit on a 1911.
Yeah,
like a classic 9mm 1911, like
correct.
The one that I'm shooting at Worlds that I could see what yours feels like on mine, right?
Yep, but these
now,
are
were the dynamics much different from having to change it over from the Mark IV original Big Daddy grips?
Yeah, a little bit of a change. The rest of the profile on the top is all the same. Texture patterning is very, 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 very similar, if not exactly the same. Just some changes at the bottom. I had somebody said, "Hey, you know what? I would like these because I don't want a magwell." And I'm like, "Well, okay, you're crazy, but we'll see what we do anyway." So I had a couple of people ask for them, and I said, "You know what? Let's give it a try." And so we ran a small run of them, and they've been pretty darn popular. So we're excited about that.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, how many guns are you shooting at Worlds?
I think I'm just shooting 3. We got our big new canopy tent set up yesterday, and so we got that baby out to see what we're in for. So we should be there all day Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday, selling when I'm not shooting. So only shooting 3 guns, and one gun a day. So
your tent will be in the vendor area.
Yes, sir. That's the plan.
Cool. Well, I am looking forward to seeing you up there again. I haven't seen you since Georgia, and it's always fun seeing you. And I got nothing else. I think we gave the people some good information. You got anything else?
No, I'm great. Again, happy birthday, Jeff. I look forward to it's been too long. Looking forward to see you, and saw some old faces. Billy Hall, he came out of retirement for the Alabama match. So it was great seeing Chris Stewart. It was great seeing some familiar faces from years gone by.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thanks, Steve. You have a good evening. For those that are still buying from rangestore.net, which is hopefully everybody getting their paint, if you want 10% off, don't forget to use ST Podcast 10 for 10% off your order at rangestore.net. Thanks again, Steve. We'll see you soon.
All right. See you, Jeff.